Alrighty, so I had some questions. I thought I'd give you some pointers to help you out with that take-home trig equation quiz. So first of all, make sure you read the directions carefully. You guys were asked to solve for the values of x that fall between 0 degrees up to and including 360. So that tells us our answer should be in degrees, not radians. And when it's necessary, it's very likely you might have to round your answers. So on the quiz, you have to round to the nearest degree. So on a piece of loose leaf, scrap paper, we need to do is solve all 7 problems. Now, your first problem is slightly different than mine. My first one just asks you, have you done your homework assignments? So these past 3-4 weeks, we've been working on trig equations, and we've had gradual homework assignments and some exit tickets. Now, what you'll notice a big difference here, some of the questions you had to express in degrees, others in radians. So that's one major obstacle we all have with trigonometry. Should I be in degree mode, radians, or should I be in degree mode, degrees on a calculator? So for this take-home quiz, your calculator's mode should be in the mode of degrees only, okay? So we've had these homework problems. So the first question on the take-home quiz, did you do these past homework assignments these past few weeks? Did you work on the quizzes? So I know some of you haven't completed the quizzes. So, but that was a review assignment I gave not too long ago. And then we've had lots of notes. I've posted videos and I've sent pictures of all these notes. Yes, you were supposed to look at those notes. Yes, you were supposed to watch the videos as if we were in class, but not really. Let's call this emergency remote learning. So we've reviewed trigonometry. We've had all these notes that you were supposed to go through and solve. So I've sent these all. Look for them. If it's not in Remind, it's definitely up in the Google Classroom. Okay, so I've sent these pictures along. These are all the examples that we worked on in class these past few weeks. Again, a strategy that's not mandatory. When you see these trig equations, why don't you use a let statement? You know, maybe if this was in plain old n, you'd be able to solve quite simply by factoring, or if you needed to, the quadratic formula. Use the trig formula reference sheet. I sent that along also. But that's a great strategy too if you use a let statement. The only thing you want to watch out for are your trig substitutions. Make sure when you use your trig substitution, if you see sine squared along with cosine, for instance, get rid of the sine squared using the Pythagorean trig identity. Now, the IB gives us this one here, my finger's pointing to. Sine squared angle A plus cosine squared the same angle A equals 1. But I know the beginning of March, when we started chapter 10, we talked about these two variations. IB expects you to be able to move one of them over to get another substitution. So that was the idea behind the notes and the work for day 6. So if you take a look at day 6, you'll see one of each example. Alrighty, and then the last trig substitution you be on the lookout for are the double angles. The one I gave you separate on day 8 involved the cosine double angle. These formulas are given to you, but take a look here. Cosine double angle 2 theta. We're not going to use my favorite one. I love that one because when I was in school I had to memorize these. You guys don't have to. But this one here or this one here are the two that you want to use. And I circled this one for this example here because you want the trig functions to all match. And again, once you make the substitution, it might be more ideal for you to use a let statement. IB takes points off if you forget to write a let statement and you go right to this. I obviously understand what's going on, so you'll just hear me reminding you, don't forget your let statement. Don't forget your let statement. Okay, so again, if you see cosine double angle x, match it with the other function, so use the other trig function that's given to you. This pretty much is a summary recap, what you should know for the quiz. If you guys go on, take IB Math 2, you prepare for the IB exam, I'll have to spend some time reviewing this once again, or if it's not me, Miss Brainerd, one of the two will spend time reviewing for the IB exam, no worries. But again, make sure you do your best with the 7 questions you had on the take-home quiz. Send me an email or mind message if you're still having a difficult time. I'll try to help you the best that I can. And again, my deadline is not hard on Tuesday by a certain time, but please try to get in soon because I have to finish up the next unit. Thanks, and have a great Monday.